Hey everybody, how are you guys today? Happy Sunday. Today is Sunday. I believe it is the 2nd of June. If it's not, you can tell me if I'm wrong. June 2nd, 2024. Welcome to my birthday month. Hey! You know, I like 6s. I'm just not real crazy about them in 10s. But that's all right. Welcome to the She Shed. If you're new here, we're sitting in front of my yarn wall. I have yarn going both directions here, and then I have my mannequin behind me. She is wearing my Floozie sweater, and then in between you can see this is a shawl that was made for me by Steve. I haven't changed it out yet, but I put my Floozie sweater on her. Her name is Tawanda. My daughter, Carrie, helped me to name her because I love Fried Green Tomatoes. Fried Green Tomatoes is one of my favorite movies. So what are you guys doing today? I'm working on a shawl for someone special. I'm actually making this for someone, and they don't even know it. This is what it looks like. It's very flowy. I'll show you all the colors. And the reason that I am working on this is because I finished the latest Floozie sweater. Can you guys believe it? Now, I have been keeping track in my handy dandy notebooks, you know, the sweary ones. My sweary notebooks are keeping tabs of all of my makes. I cannot believe what I have accomplished this year so far. I cannot wait till the end of the year. Y'all let me know what you think. Should I give you a 6-month check-in at the end of June? Would you like that? Or do you want to wait till the end of the year and be surprised at the huge number of makes that I did? I don't know that that's going to happen, but wouldn't that be great? Anyway, today is just a vlog. I am actually going to do a full podcast this next week and show you all the things that I've made, all the things that I'm working on. But today, I just thought we would sit and knit and chat just a little bit and give y'all some updates on what's been going on. My God, we had a deluge today. We had about 3.5 inches of rain in just over an hour. And when I say it was raining sheets of rain, I am not kidding. If I have it, I may put just a little clip in here for you. I went to town today. I got up and got my shower and got ready to go, and Mr. Fiber and I had been making a list, and so I was finishing off the list and looking in the fridge and, you know, doing all the places, looking at all the places, and got my list finished and got ready to go. And I called Dad and I said, hey, I'm coming to town and I'm gonna drop off trash, and then I will come by. You gonna be around? And he said yes. I said okay. So I got to town, dropped off the trash, and us and Dad are using the trash receptacle that we've been using for years. It was the one that I used for my shop. Now, for those that are new, where I'm sitting right now, this is where I used to shampoo hair, in this corner. And in the corner over to my left is where my station was, where I used to do hair. Over in the far corner over there where my refrigerator is where my refrigerator is now. I have moved that refrigerator so many times, and you know what? It always goes right back in that same corner. It did when I had the shop. It's the weirdest thing. That just is the spot for the little refrigerator. And then back here, we moved my station, and that is now where where I sit when I do my lives and stuff is there. So, and where I come into the she shed is where the bathroom was. It's now a hallway, but that's where my bathroom was. So there's a little bit of history on the building. But when I had the building on the lot in town, we pay for water and sewer and trash there. Well, we've always taken our trash to town because we live out here 5 miles out of town, and there's no trash pickup on our road. There is trash pickup up to about 3 miles out of town to a house up there, but there's no trash pickup that I'm aware of where we're at. In other words, they're not going to come down our dirt road. Don't get me started on our dirt road. My Amazon delivery is from last week, the last part of last week, and then this week, as in from Monday through now, which is Sunday, and they still haven't delivered, and they keep telling me, well, it's weather in your area. Well, yeah, we did have weather today, but there were days last week we didn't have weather and they didn't deliver. They just won't come down the dirt road because they think they can't get out. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. I'm about to the point where the next time that I order something, I'm going to tell them to put it in the box up at Allsup's in town. Allsup's is our little convenience store, and they have a Amazon box. I forget what our box is called because you know all the boxes have names. But anyway, so I took the trash to town, and then I swung around and saw Dad was wanted to sit down. He had some new medicines he's taking, so we sat down and went over his new medicines. And so now I have the list of what his medicines are also, because I had not got his updated list. And he actually had me sit down and write. He has like a 4x6 card that he puts in his wallet. He has all of his medicines on it now, and he folds it in half and he puts it in his wallet. And then on the back he's got his phone number, my phone number, and his home phone number written on it, because those are the 3 numbers he's still trying. Today he's got it. He's remembering his new phone number pretty good, but he's still not quite got everybody else's down. And then we did that, and then we went over a list of things for him. I still need to do this because he and I are both going to go see new doctors on the 13th. So he's going to get a new doctor at the VA, and then I'm seeing a new doctor in Abilene. So we both are working on things that we want to talk to our new doctors about. Well, we started his list, so that was good. And then we just visited a little bit, and it looked like it was fixing to rain. So I said, okay, I've got to go to the dollar store to get all those things on my list. And I piddled around, and he called me back, and he said, well, he said, I'm going to go to eat. he said, I'm gonna go to the restaurant up here and get a hamburger. And I said, okay. I said, just keep an eye on the weather. Well, he went to eat and I kept shopping. I got all my stuff and I was about, I was at the checkout and it started to sprinkle and I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna get wet putting this stuff in the car. I had no idea what was coming. Y'all, it opened up and started to pour. I was soaked by the time I got everything in the car. And then I started to drive home and I got back here and I told Dad, you know, I'd made it home, but driving down the dirt road, the rain was coming from that direction. So I was driving to the north and the rain was pushing south and across that dirt road. So I couldn't actually see the road. Well, with our road, you kind of want to know if it's covered because if it's covered, I don't want to go down that road. Well, I couldn't see it and I just took a chance and just went real slow. And the road was not covered up, thankfully, but I sure as heck couldn't see it. So I just kept going, and then I get a message from Mr. Fiber, and he said, because I had told him that, he said, it's raining here, and I said, well, I'm soaked already. And then he sends me a message, I'm coming, don't go down the road, and he sends me a message and tells me that the gate is open, he said, and now I'm soaked. So he went and opened the gate for me and got sopping wet doing it. I mean, he literally had to take everything off and put it in the washing machine because he was drenched. It opened up as he was at the gate. It was like, whoop. Okay, the yarn that I was just using is this one, and I think it's called Dove Gray. Let me change the light. It's like a dove gray, and it's that Forever fleece, and so it's like I think it's supposed to be a DK, and I was holding it double. And then this one is Scarfy Light. Trying to think if I don't know if I have the ball band for that. Maybe. Yep. Lion Brand Scarfy Light. Hobby Lobby, $8.49 is what I paid for it. This one's called Tartan. It's a very pretty color. Some of you may remember I made a shawl out of this, and this is, I had two of them, and this is the other one. And then I'm using Arabella Metallic. It's 50 acrylic and 50 cotton, and then it's got a metallic in there, and it is a number 5. And this color is, wow, Painted Canyon. And I'm using 2 of them. So one of the Scarfy Light, one of the Forever, and here are the colors. To give you an idea, I'll hold it up here again in a minute, but let me show you, give you an idea. So it's got some of these like yellows, and it's got like these grays and stuff, and then it's got this, which is like a orangey, rusty colors, and it looks a lot like homespun. I really like this yarn. I don't think they make it anymore. Then I'm also using, this one is called Awesome Ombre. I don't remember the colorway. It is a one, I'm holding it double. This one is, I don't remember the name of this, but it's that real fuzzy stuff. It's also a 5 weight. This is a yarn bee also. I cannot think of the name of this. I don't know. So with that in mind, I'll show you all those colors again and how they're playing out. So it started here. See, I actually held that, I did not even hold that together with 2 on that one. Just did 1. It almost looks spider webby. But here's the Arabella, and then that Forever, and then that white furry, then the Arabella again, and then this one is the Scarfy Light by itself, and then that Arabella, I went quite a ways with it, and then I did the Scarfy Light with that ombre together, and then the white and the Arabella. Here's the Scarfy Light, it changed colors, and I'm going back to it. And then what I'm doing is I'm leaving it with the fringe on the sides. Now originally when I started this, which this is based on a tutorial that I have here on my channel, and I will link it down below. It's the Easy Triangular Knit Shawl, and it's based on that one. So you start with 3 stitches, and then you add a stitch every time you turn. You add a stitch on the end, and you wind up adding to both sides, doing it that way. But originally I had started out, and this was going to be my hippy dippy for Dee's Creative Hands. And then she came out with all the rules, and she said it was single crochets and double crochets and all that stuff. I think I'm still going to enter it in the hippy dippy because it has all these different things. I think I'm still going to just tell her, I know it's not crochet, but here's what I got. And see what she says. It'll probably be okay. I don't think she'll mind. But I'm just gonna leave all these ends instead of weaving them in, and then I'm gonna go back and fill it in where it needs more fringe. And then I may do what she was talking about. She was talking about putting beads and stuff on here, and I don't know. I may look and see if I have some like ribbon or anything else I can stick on it too for the hippy dippy. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know, we'll see. Y'all tell me what you think. And Dee, if you happen to watch this, let me know. Is it gonna qualify? Okay, now I'm gonna switch to a different color. I think I am going to go with the white. Oh, and I'm holding this in my crochet bag, which I made. Serbs is on the bone. I just came up with this all by myself. I did not follow any pattern whatsoever, but here is my crochet bag. And I put a brooch on it. And it's one long piece done in single crochets, and I just changed colors. This is all cotton yarns, scraps, and white and grays, and I think I used some of that stripey, peaches and cream stripey or whatever it's called. And then when I got to the top, after I joined, then I went around and did several rounds just going around the top. And then the way I did the handles was to go around to a certain point and then chain over, and then go around, chain up, chain, and go over, and you skip all of these, and then I just went around the chain, and I only have like 3 rows on there of single crochets to do that, but it worked out good, and I haven't had any problems. It's been a really sturdy bag. It's actually a really great way to, and nothing actually falls out of this being single crochets. It's a really pretty good tight weave. It takes for friggin' ever though. You keep folding it over going, it's not big enough. Fold it over, nah, it's not big enough. That takes forever. Okay, what else? So, it's pouring rain, pouring. And I get home and I jump out of the car, I grab my purse and I jump out of the car and I go inside, and I'm like, Mr. Fiber and I are standing at the door going, what the hell happened? Where in the world did all this, I mean, it is just, we got 3.5 inches, y'all, in just over an hour. When it rains that hard, the frogs start talking out here. The frogs, you wouldn't know it. You're just walking along and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know that there were frogs in the ground. But there are. They're just waiting for it to rain. Now, back to the back side of our house, we have a wooded area, a lot of shaded area, a lot of, wild weeds and just all kinds of stuff back down in here. We call it the bottom. It's always been called the bottom. This is the family farm. We have over 100 acres out here. And I mean, we're kind of the caretakers of it, if you want to call us that. Well, down there, when it rains hard enough, we usually hear the frogs. But today, the frogs out in the field were talking. And Mr. Fiber said in all the years that he's been here, which is a long time, excuse you, sirs. He's not on the bone, he's got his green toy. He was on the bone, but he's back to the green toy. In all the time that Mr. Fiber has been here, he said he's never heard the frogs in the field talk. That's how much rain. And we've had a lot of rain this year up until this point. It is not unusual to have rain in the summer. We do, but this was just buckets. And we had the tornado. It's just been an unusual spring. And we keep saying rain, rain, rain. And you know what it usually happens here in our area is rain, 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 and then it stops. The spigot is tightened up and you don't get anything till fall. Not yet. Not yet. We're not there yet. Mr. Fiber and I met August the 13th of 2005. And the rain we had today and the way the road looked and all of those things, I told him, I said, this is like the weekend we met, because it rained so hard that I came out here and I met him out here. It was our first meeting. And after all that rain, he said, well, he said to me, he says, you can't leave. No, he said, you're not leaving. And I went, what? He said, well, actually, you can't leave. I was in my mom van. There was no way I was getting out, which was fine with me. I moved in 2 weeks later. We had one of those moments. I got out of the car. I've told this story before, but I got out of my van and I walked up. He was coming out of this house and he looked over at me and I looked over at him. And that's what we call our oh shit moment. And it was literally that. Literally, that was it. We were done. We were toast. So, my birthday month this month, y'all, I'm hitting that big number. So it's an even number. It's a nice big even number. But yeah, I'm hitting that big number. I don't know what I'm doing. I've already got my birthday yarn. Watch the podcast because I show you some of the things I got, and I'll show you things I'm working on. What else? We have 11 kittens on the front porch. We have 2 litters on the front porch, and we have a litter out behind the house. I don't know how many are in there. I can hear several little mews, you know. Saw one little blackish gray one, so I do not know how many she has. All I know is there are some back there too. So I know we have at least 12 kittens because I saw one. I've had people, and I wanted to address this because I've had people say to me, are you going to get them fixed? No. My cats are outside. They're what we call farm cats. They're barn cats, and they're supposed to have more kittens because cats here don't stay usually. We have one big Tom that stays, and his name is Mauser. He's my big ginger tabby. Mama is still here, and everybody besides Mauser is a descendant of Mama. We had a couple of other males that were here. They're now gone. But that's why we have 3 litters, because they came, they saw, they did what they wanted to do, and then they left. But that's the way it goes out here. Mauser is in charge. He is big, he's large, and he's in charge. And he is fixed, which is amazing to me that he's the one in charge, but he is. And I think he is because he's the biggest. I think the biggest guy wins out here. But I don't have them, and Mauser came from town and he was already fixed. The other males that have been out here, they were either born out here or they just showed up because the ladies had their fishnets on. They just show up and they're here for a while and then they leave. And I don't get anybody fixed, and I don't get anybody spayed or neutered or anything because we're out here in the country. And I don't like it when the mice come in and eat my yarn like they did when I had it underneath my desk. and I went to get my project out to work on it because I was doing a blanket and tutorials and all the things, and my yarn was completely chewed. Not a fan. So that is why I don't have them fixed, because they're supposed to be eating mice and lizards and whatever else. Serbs takes care of all the scorpions and all the bees. He eats them. Except the other day, Mr. Fiber there was one under Mr. Fiber's desk, and yeah, his foot, that hurt. He said it was a hard hit. He did not swell up or get sick. He didn't really feel that great all day, but a lot of it was the stress of it hurting and then it stinging. But it was under his desk, and he sneezed and moved his foot, and when he did, the scorpion bit him. It was under his desk. I've never been bit, but I know it has got to hurt. But Serbs attacks them and rolls them up and then eats them. And then I swat at the bees, and they get to the floor, and he eats those. And yeah. Duke sees the scorpions. He doesn't eat them or attack them, but he always sees them. He's always and looking at the wall because he sees it crawling, and I'm like, what does he see? We had a mouse in the hallway, in the pantry hallway, and it was behind the door, behind the closet, in the closet, and he stood there and he was looking at the door. And I'm like, oh, there's something in there. Duke was just staring at that door and doing this. Oh. So he sees and hears things, but he doesn't attack. He attacks things out there. Oh, don't even get me started on the dang skunks. We've had 3 skunks this month already, or during the month of May. Well, we had 1 in April and 2 in May. Mr. Fiber's been walking the boys in the morning, and I'm going to give you that update, and then I'm going to let you go. But I'm getting really close, y'all. Pretty soon. Hold on. There we go. Getting really close to being able to get out and walk, because last week I walked 1 day, but I walked in the boot. And so far, I have not walked any distance without being in the boot. But on the day-to-day, I haven't had to wear the boot. And the chiropractor really would rather I wasn't in the boot. And now I'm wearing the, oh, let me show you one, hold on. Now this shoe is my just kicking around the house shoe. And it has one of these gel pads in it. And this is the one that I took off because I had 3. The chiropractor ordered them for me, and then I ordered some from Amazon to put in another pair of shoes. But these you can stack them up, and the podiatrist told me she wanted me to have 3 of them, but the 3 was too much. So I took these out of my tennis shoes, and I have just the 2 in my tennis shoe, and then I put these in this shoe so that they weren't completely flat. But most of the time I'm wearing my tennis shoes with the 2 in it. And I have, but not a whole lot, walked barefoot much at all, because the podiatrist, the way the podiatrist explained it to me was that when you hit down flat-footed, that means that the Achilles is flexed. So she wants me to have those supports in there so that it's not flexing every time. And it is helping. So between my adjustments at the chiropractor and wearing the supports in my shoes, it's working. Okay, that my medicine alarm went off. So anyway, that's the update on that. I had a really bad day yesterday. I absolutely could not go anywhere or do anything. I took a water pill. I was able to go on to some lives and say hello to people, but I just really did not feel good at all. Remember I told y'all that I chipped my cup? Right there. But it's not bad because see where it's at? I can drink on either side and not have a problem. This is half calf. Because it is 9 o'clock in the evening when I'm doing this. Okay, I think that's about all I have to tell you. I am going to get this edited for you, and I will work on my podcast this week and get that out to you. I hope to do some lives. We've started June, haven't done my planners yet, so Lori, I'm gonna come on one day this week and we're gonna do planner stuff. All right, you guys, I will talk to you later on. I hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know what you're working on, and I will talk to you later, okay? Have fun today. Bye, everybody.